26 pages. That's the BRD sitting in front of me right now. Somebody spent weeks writing this. It's thorough, it's detailed, it's also kind of a nightmare because this is what parsing the BRD actually looks like. Reading line by line, identifying the requirements buried in paragraphs, cross-referencing sections, building a mental map of what actually needs to be tested versus what's context or background. And then, after all of that, starting to write test cases from scratch manually. Now watch this. The requirements were extracted, test cases generated, organized, and cross-referenced from source material. That only took a few moments. That's the difference, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works. If you work in an enterprise QA environment, or really any environment where formal documentation is part of the process, you know that BRDs, FRSs, and similar requirements documents are a daily reality, and they're valuable documents truly, but they represent enormous amounts of business thinking, stakeholder alignment, and system specification. The problem isn't the documents. The problem is what happens when a QA engineer sits down with one and has to turn it into test coverage. That process where you're doing requirement extraction, scenario mapping, test case writing, is one of the most time-insensitive things in QA work. It's also one of the least scalable. When a new BRD drops and you've got a sprint starting in 2 days, there's no good answer. You do the best you can in the time you have. QA Touch's document analysis AI changes that equation. Today, I'll show you the full workflow from raw document to organized test coverage, and we'll talk about what the AI does well, where you still need to apply judgment, and how to use this in a way that genuinely improves your coverage quality, not just your speed. Let's be specific about what manual BRD parsing actually costs, because I think it's easy to underestimate it. Take a typical feature BRD, say 30 to 50 pages. Before you can write a single test case, you need to read and understand the document. That alone is an hour, maybe 2, for a dense technical document. Then you need to identify which sections contain actual testable requirements versus context, rationale, and background. In most BRDs, that's maybe 40 to 60% of the content. Filtering that out takes time. Then you need to identify the functional areas, the logical groupings of requirements, so you can organize your test cases in a way that makes sense. That mental mapping takes more time. Then you write the test cases, then you review them, then you realize you missed a section on page 47 that has a critical conditional requirement, and you go back. For a team of 5 QA engineers, multiply that across a product release with several feature BRDs. You're talking about dozens of hours of requirement parsing before meaningful testing begins. And the quality of the output depends heavily on how carefully each engineer reads the document. If it's 5 p.m. on a Wednesday and you're on page 68 of 87, you're going to miss things. That's not a character flaw. It's human cognition under load. AI doesn't get tired on page 68. That's the point. Inside of QA Touch, click on the AI button and choose the option for AI test cases from BRD. Here's the interface. QA Touch accepts PDFs, Word documents, and plain text files. You can upload a single document or multiple documents if your requirements are spread across files. A BRD plus a separate technical spec, for example. The AI does 2 things in sequence. First, it extracts and identifies requirements, pulling out the specific statements that defines how the system should behave. Then it generates test cases from those requirements, maintaining a link between each test case and its source requirement for traceability. That 2-step process is important. I'm using a payment gateway integration BRD here. It covers authentication requirements, transaction processing rules, error handling specifications, reporting requirements, and security and compliance standards. This is a real document, the kind your team works with every day. In QA Touch's interface, you can set how many test cases you want, set what type of tests you want, functional, UI, UX, security, compatibility, and accessibility, and then you just drop in your file. Once you're ready, click on the Generate button. Watch what happens in the stage. The AI is reading the document and pulling out discrete requirement statements. After a few moments, you can see our test cases are generated. Each one has a title. You can click on steps to see each step and expected result. They're also tagged with type of test case, so you can see security, functional, UI, UX. From here, you're going to want to validate each one, so make sure the title is what you'd want it to be. Go and check the steps. Make sure the steps actually make sense and match the requirements. Make sure the expected results match what you're expecting. Remove anything that doesn't make sense and add any missing steps or context. Once you have reviewed, go ahead and hit save. And this gets added in a new folder inside of your test case repository. From here, it's ready to use in any of your test runs. Since we did pull this in as a requirement, you can go up to requirements. You can see that our requirement is automatically added here. It's added a single requirement here for the system shall reject any payment request that does not include a valid non-expired API key and return HTTP 401. If you go into here, you can see the linked test cases that match those requirements. On the attachments, you can also see the linked PDF file that we uploaded. Now, let me talk about traceability, because this is actually the feature that matters most in regulated or enterprise environments and gets the least attention in demos. Every test case generated from the BRD carries a reference back to its source requirement. That link is maintained throughout the system. When a test runs and passes or fails, that result is traceable back to the requirement it validates. Why does this matter? because your compliance team or an auditor asks, how do you know your system meets this requirement? You can pull a report that shows the test cases that cover that requirement and their pass-fail history. That's not just convenient. In many regulated industries, it's mandatory. Traditionally, building that traceability matrix is a separate manual effort. With QA Touch's document workflow, it's built automatically as a byproduct of how you generate and link test cases. You don't have to maintain it separately. It's just there. Now let's talk about accuracy, because anyone who tells you AI output is always correct is selling you something. In my experience with QA Touch document analysis, the AI is very accurate at identifying discrete, clearly written requirements, generating the primary test scenarios for each, maintaining the connection between requirement and test cases, and catching compliance and security requirements that tend to get buried. Where you need to apply most scrutiny, requirements that are ambiguous or use conditional language like the system may, or in some cases, the AI will generate test cases for these. But the coverage may not reflect your specific interpretation of that ambiguity. Flag them and resolve them with your business analyst or product owner. Also apply extra scrutiny to integration point requirements. Where your system interfaces with external systems, the BRD may specify behavior at the boundary, but your test cases need to account for the actual behavior of those external systems, which the document doesn't fully describe. And always check that performance and volume requirements translated correctly. The system shall process 10,000 transactions per hour, which might generate a functional test case instead of a load testing scenario. That's worth reviewing. If you got a BRD sitting on your desk right now, try this. Upload it to QA Touch. The link is in the description, and see what comes out. You don't need to configure anything or set up integrations. Just upload the document and generate. See how close the coverage is to what you would have written manually. See what it catches that you might have missed. I think you'll find the answer to both questions is closer than you expected, and quite a bit. And if you work in a regulated industry, healthcare, finance, or government, drop a comment. I want to do a deep dive video on compliance-focused testing coverage and traceability, and I'd love to know what specific challenges you're dealing with. Subscribe for weekly QA workflow content. See you in the next one.